not only is she the first Korean novelist to win the prestigious award in literature, but such splendid achievement also marks a great milestone in Korean literature. What does Thursday's honor mean for Korean literature? Let's turn to Professor David Tizard for more. Welcome to the program.
Good morning. Thank you for having me, and it's an honor to be here on this day of celebration.
It's good to have you with us. This is more than just Han becoming the first South Korean winner of the prize in literature, right?
It is more than that, because there have been talk about this for a long time, from Hwang Young-sok, from Go-eun, the poet. This is something that Korean people have looked to for that acknowledgement of their literature. But we must say that this award, in your previous segments, you've talked about responses from other authors and the international response. But this news just rippled through South Korean society yesterday. Such a wave of emotion because nobody predicted Han Gang's victory for the Nobel Prize of Literature. Social media was just inundated with joy and celebration. And as a professor at a women's university here in Seoul, my social media, my Instagram stories were filled with lots of young women who felt seen, who felt proud, and of course the whole nation does. But this is a huge victory, not just for South Korea, for South Korean literature, but for many people inside society.
Well, we all know how prestigious a Nobel Prize is, but Professor Tizard, tell us how big of a deal is this really, winning the prize in literature?
It turns the spotlight onto South Korea once more, which is very important. And how big a deal is it? Well, there's a financial prize that means that Han Gang will now be able to continue her work, knowing that she has that financial support. It will obviously draw so many more readers to her. And as they do, when they encounter Han Gang's work, they're going to read about the tragedy of Gwangju in 1980. They're going to learn about the Jeju uprising from her upcoming book, which will be translated into English in the late 1940s. They will learn about the life of a woman struggling in society to choose her own path through the vegetarian. So more and more people around the world, they're going to be introduced to Han Gang through this prize. They're going to be introduced to Korean literature more broadly, which is very deep and wide. And then they're going to learn more about the Korean story. And this, I think, is a wonderful thing, that now the Korean story is being not only communicated to the world, but it's being communicated by people like Han Gang, who has such a wonderful voice in that she addresses these very incredible moments of power and tragedy and devastation, but she does so with such grace.
Right, the honor could have come as a pleasant surprise, like Han said herself, but, her work has already long been recognized and praised both at home and abroad. Let's talk about that.
Yep. So the 2016, I believe it was, the Man Booker Prize for The Vegetarian, that drew a lot of attention to her, and rightly so. It's a wonderful sort of magical realist exploration of a woman in South Korea who decides to give up eating meat and all the repercussions that come from that, with maybe what locals might call nameshison, or the public gaze and social expectations. Han Gang has been writing for 30 years. Although she's in her 50s, to win the award at this age, she was considered quite young. And on the list of potential winners this year, she was not even on the list. You had Gerald Murnane from Australia, Kan Zhu, the Chinese experimental writer. She was highly tipped even just a few days ago.
Indeed.
But Han Gang has sort of come out of nowhere to win this award. But let's not fool ourselves that this is all of a sudden she's risen up. She's been writing for 30 years. She's well known in literary circles, and this seems like a well-deserved recognition for the many years that she's put pen to paper for us all.
Right. Some people say it was just a matter of time that she was going to be recognized this much globally. And you mentioned this, Professor Tizard, it's a huge milestone for Korean literature. But what does Han's achievement on Thursday really say about Korean literature and its status at the moment?
It shows that there is an incredible attention in knowing more about Korea. So we had the rise of K-pop, we had the rise of Korean movies, and Korean dramas are seemingly omnipresent across global media. But now people want to know more. They want to know something deeper. I've had publishers reach out to me from the United Kingdom and say, David, who are the authors that we should be publishing, Korean authors that we should be publishing that people don't know about yet? So I think this exploration of Korean literature, it reflects a deeper interest in Korea. It shows that this sort of Hallyu boom that we had is not just all about pop music and glitz and glamour, but there's a deeper, more profound interest in the stories that Korean people have to tell. And when they do engage with Korean literature, they're going to find so much there because it's as wide and various as you can imagine. And there's so much depth. And I'm actually excited for people around the world as they start to not only pick up Han Gang's books, but pick up other Korean books, and more importantly, just pick up books in general. It's
Right.
great to be talking about literature in the modern age.
Definitely. K-pop, K-food, and she's really paved the way for K-literature, maybe. Professor Tizar, thank you so much for making your time to be with us this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
You too.